Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Sci-Fi Journal presented by the Rhode Island Science Fiction Club. This is for December 2010. My name is Marc Morisseau. Also hosting the show today are Kingston, James Hinsey, and later on we'll have an appearance from Calvin Watts III.
Yep, he'll be here too.
That's right. Can you guys believe, it seems like yesterday we blinked and we were doing the January episode, and now it's the last one of the year for 2010.
Seems like we blinked and we were doing the first episode.
I know.
And how many years ago was that now?
Like 14, 15 years, something like that.
Something like
what
that.
were you saying the other day? You picked up some old videotapes?
Yeah, I've got probably about 100 videotapes from Mike, who worked on the show before, with editing and everything.
Right.
And, I'm going to try to see if I can digitize them, and so we'll have an archive that we can have.
That's pretty scary. Okay, and as always, we like to begin our show talking about the wonderful world of movies with a segment we call Popcorn Previews. Take it away, Jay.
Well, thank you very much, Marc.
welcome
Getting right
very
into
much,
it
Jay.
this month. The first movie we are looking at is Tron Legacy, which stars Jeff Bridges, Gareth, Hegland, and Olivia Wilde. And basically what this is a return to the universe of Tron, which the movie came out over 20 years ago.
Yep.
And the special effects have been improved, and I like that in this movie they've gotten rid of that annoying blue haze that was over everything last time.
Right.
Everything had that. It really kind of hurt your eyes to watch it. It was a good story, but it really hurt your eyes to watch the
Well,
thing.
back in the day, that was pretty advanced.
It was very advanced in the day, but Disney's done some great stuff with their CGI work and their special effects, and this looks crisper. The storyline looks more up to date and slicker and everything. So
Thank goodness for those upgrades.
That's right.
absolutely. Take a look at the clip, and I think you'll agree this looks pretty cool.
What do you say? Tomorrow, you and I hit the arcade. First game's on me.
Can we play doubles? On the same team?
We're always on the same team.
Good evening. Our lead story, Kevin Flynn, was reported missing. The visionary ICOM and ENCOM CEO skyrocketed to the top of the tech industry. He was last seen at home with his son, Sam, leaving behind an empire and a now orphaned little boy.
Sam, I was paged last night. Page came from your dad's office at the arcade.
Alan, you're acting like I'm gonna find him sitting there working. Where am I?
He's different. Your father was the creator. He never thought he'd see you again.
Dad. Sam. Long time. You have no idea.
The Grid, a place of infinite possibility.
It's incredible.
More beautiful than I ever dreamed. And more dangerous than I ever imagined.
What happened?
My creation turned against me.
Kevin Flynn! Where are you now?
What am I supposed to do?
Survive.
We have to get you out of here.
Out there! There's a new world!
Here they come.
Out there! Yeah! Is our destiny.
Next, we have Sucker Punch.
This movie is either going to be really, really good or really, really bad?
I'm betting really good.
You think so? Yeah.
I'm betting really good
All right.
because it looks really cool.
It's like an over-the-top Scott Pilgrim / Sin City type, in terms of all this stuff coming at you visually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And that stars Emily Browning and Abby Cornish. And basically what it is it's a young girl who is living in a kind of a prison.
Yeah, almost like an orphanage.
Almost like an orphanage. I don't know if it's an orphanage or a sanatorium or a sanitarium, excuse me,
Right.
or a prison, but she uses her mind to escape into this fantasy world.
Don't we all?
And speak for yourself. I
Okay.
never left the fantasy world.
That's
I'm still there now.
All right.
So let's take a look at the clip. It looks really slick.
I lost everyone I've ever loved. Then they locked me away. With nowhere to hide from the pain. I need to get out. I'm gonna escape from here.
There's armed guards everywhere. And if Blue finds out, we're dead.
We're already dead.
You're afraid, don't be. To reach your own paradise. Just let go. What you're imagining right now, you control this world.
What are you looking for?
A way out.
I'm going to help you to be free. You will need to find 5 items. The first is a map. Then fire. Then a knife. And a key. The 5th thing is a mystery. Begin your journey. It will set you free.
He knows what we're doing.
It's the only way we can get out of here.
If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
I guess that's my buzzword for this month is slick.
Slick?
It's
It's really
slick.
All right.
Yes.
I love those slick sci-fi programs.
Next we have Sanctum. Now this is not a science fiction or fantasy film, but it is worthy of giving a preview because it's a on the edge of your seat thriller type film based on real life events. And it stars Richard Roxburgh and Rhys Wakefield. And it's basically about a family or a group of spelunkers who go down into the largest and last unexplored cave system known to man on the earth. And they get caught in a tropical storm.
Are they slick spelunkers?
Oh, they are so slick.
Okay.
And things get very slick when they're down spelunking.
Yeah, it looks like they filmed it in some actual caves. and
Yes,
stuff,
it does.
you know,
it looks
so
like they actually
use
went
the
down in some of
natural, yeah.
these things. 6 slick spelunkers.
Say that 8 times.
So that's what we've got. Let's take a look at the preview. It looks really pretty cool.
Looks really swell.
And slick.
These rocks, these caves. Where else can you shine a light where no human's been? There's nowhere else left on the planet to explore.
It is the last unexplored territory in the world.
Espiritu is Sala, the mother of all caves.
Trust me, you're gonna love this.
What could possibly go wrong diving in caves?
Some come for fame and fortune.
You're not gonna set any records without me.
Others to chase history.
Your old man is the most respected explorer in the world.
Because he's got nothing else.
He's a good kid, Frank.
You need to go easy on him.
Exactly what I don't need to do, because Cave will kill you in a heartbeat.
But one mistake in Earth's inner sanctum.
My God, would you look at that?
And no one will ever know you were even here.
Listen. What the hell was that?
Pull the team out now! The storm has turned into a cyclone! Dad, the cave is flooding!
You think? You'll find another way out! We're heading back down!
I can't do this. I'm not a diver.
You can do this because you have to do this!
I don't want to die down here.
I'm gonna get out of here, or am I? We follow the river all the way to the ocean. This way.
You sure?
Nope. I'll see you on the other side.
Could have picked a better choice of words. Give me a hand. We will find a way out.
We're running out of time.
You'll kill all of us!
Never give up. No matter what happens, you never, ever give up.
Sanctum.
Okay, next we have Narnia, Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Yes.
It's the same cast that's been in the previous two films, and the kids are growing up.
Yeah, with
Yep.
Lucy and
Yep,
the younger brother, Edward.
they're new.
No, it's the same two
It's the
actors.
same.
But only the two of the four kids.
Oh,
is
only
in this
two of
one.
the four kids are
Yes.
in this.
Right.
Because I've seen four kids in the.
Oh,
thing.
they may have appeared in it, but in terms of the adventure part of it, only Lucy and
I
Edward
see.
are in it.
Okay, so it's only Lucy and Edward. I stand corrected as I speak, which is funny because I'm sitting. But anyway, it's the Voyage of the Dawn Treader. It's another Narnia story, another continuation of the classic storyline by C.S. Lewis, who was a pretty slick guy. And
Hey, given a choice between C.S. Lewis and Tolkien, give me C.S. Lewis any day. But that's just my opinion.
okay, we'll give Mark one C.S. Lewis.
Thank you.
What would you like? Would you
I'll
like
I'll
a
take
Tolkien?
I'll take Tolkien.
He'll take it.
Although
Tolkien.
I do love Narnia and the Narnia books, but his other books I couldn't read through.
Well, you got to watch out, James, because cops are cracking down on people who get caught Tolkien.
That's right.
So, anyway, let's take a look at this. It looks really slick.
You have returned for a reason. You have come far. And now your journey lies beyond.
Behold our castaways, King and Queen of Narnia.
Refugee!
Your Majesties.
Where in the blazes am I?
You're on the Dawn Treader. Was it something I said? This Christmas,
Here is the source of your troubles.
enemies will unite.
It seeks to corrupt all goodness, to steal the light from this world.
And the only power to stop them
That sword you carry, it must be laid at Aslan's table. Only then can their true power be released.
lies beyond Narnia itself.
Aslan's country.
Do you really believe there's such a place?
We have nothing if not belief.
From C.S. Lewis's epic masterpiece comes the motion picture event of
of the holiday season.
Travelers of Narnia, I am your guide.
You are most beautiful.
If it is a distraction for you, I can change form.
No.
Now is the time to be strong. Never give in.
No fear! No retreat!
The Chronicles of Narnia, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. In digital 3D, directed by Michael Apted.
Next we have Gulliver's Travels.
What do you think about this movie, Jay?
It's more Jack Black crap, and it's not slick.
Except for Jack Black.
How did I know you were going to say that?
It looks awesome.
Except for the part with Jack Black in it, the movie looks great.
Right. If it wasn't for Jack Black, no, actually, I don't know. It was amusing, I thought.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be amusing. It's a classic story, and it's one of these things that they've taken and said, let's put Jack Black in it and see if we can squeeze some bucks out of the viewing public.
There you go.
If they can capture the satire that the original stories had with the comedy, it could be pretty good.
Wow. I mean, it was a pretty. The original stories were pretty discouraging as far as mankind goes.
Well, that was just Swift's take on his satire. He was really trying to point out the follies of man.
Yeah, and the most intelligent creature in the universe turns out to be a horse.
Yes, which was the fourth book, so I don't know if we'll see that in this book.
Oh, no, probably not.
But the sequels will be awesome.
Oh, don't even start.
It's Gulliver's Travels meets School of Rock. That's what it is.
Yeah, let's. I'm sorry to do this to you, but let's watch that clip.
I got a writing sample I've been working on. It's dynamite.
I had no idea you wrote. So who are your influences?
Shakespeare, Krakauer, the hot mom who wrote Twilight.
I have the perfect piece to start you off with. There's a guide who claims he has the secret to the Bermuda Triangle.
We'll see you in 3 weeks with a story that's gonna blow your mind.
From the studio that brought you Night at the Museum.
What is this thing?
Where are you from?
I'm from the island of Manhattan.
Were you the president?
I was actually known as President the Awesome.
For the first time in his life, people are looking up to him.
To land a princess, you gotta employ some grade A courtage.
Could you teach me?
Next time you see her, just tell her I'm really into you. Got a lot of things going on. I'd like you to be one of them.
And he's finally standing out.
I'm starting to love this place.
Don't you miss your subjects and the White House and the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah, but Vice President Yoda can run things without me for a while.
But just when he thought he found his place.
Slide to unlock. 12 messages, Mr. Popularity.
They found out who he really was.
I challenge you to a duel! So you accept?
Make a move.
I surrender!
You cannot surrender!
You gave us your word! I'm sorry. I'm just a guy from the mailroom.
This Christmas.
Gulliver, you think of yourself as this small little thing, but that's not how I see you. You can do this.
He'll prove he's the hero.
Well, I'd like to be your protector again.
How are we to believe anything you say?
Because my word is my bond. This time.
He always pretended to be.
The Blefutians attack!
Time to vanquish.
Jack Black.
Hey, dudes. I come in peace.
I'm invincible.
Gulliver's Travels.
Close game. That's cute.
Okay, next we have the Fifth Voyage of Sinbad, or Sinbad, the Fifth Voyage.
Yep.
So, and this stars Patrick Stewart, and I know I'm going to butcher this poor guy's name. Shaheen Sean Solman.
God bless you.
So, or Solomon.
That was good.
Yeah, well, I did all right.
Now it's the voice of Patrick Stewart.
It's the voice of Patrick Stewart. I don't know if he actually makes an appearance in the film or not.
Right.
But basically the plot is that the Sultan's daughter is kidnapped, and Sinbad, who has come back from his voyages, is now sitting around. He's bored stiff, and he's asked by the Sultan, I need you to go rescue my daughter. So he goes into a desert full of magic and creatures, and all that great Sinbad stuff takes place. And I mean, this is a classic story out of the 1001
Arabian Nights. Yep.
Right. So let's take a look at that.
Sim Salabim.
Having sailed a traitorous journey and back, I once again enjoyed the quiet life. But soon I became tired and weary and longed for the oceans and adventure. My story begins. My fifth voyage.
And that's it. That's it. That is it for popcorn previews for this bleeping month.
Okay, all right, here we go. All right, we only have a few things this month for the wonderful world of television that we like to call Toob News.
Only a few things?
Only a few things.
Yeah, all right.
Isn't that good?
Less FaceTime for Marc.
That's right. Remember we talked about last month The Walking Dead, how such a great series it was, and it was getting so much good buzz that they were thinking of giving it a second season.
Yeah.
Well, they've green-lighted a second season for
Excellent.
Walking Dead. So we're going to see that
Excellent.
sometime in 2011, which will be good. However, if you were a big fan of Caprica, sorry, Caprica's been canceled. Sci-Fi pulled the show and its 5 remaining episodes from the schedule.
They pulled it.
Yeah, at first I thought they were going to air the next 5 in January. They're not going to do that. They just said, sayonara.
I'll have to catch it on the DVD then.
You'll have to catch it on DVD or it might show up on Hulu or
Yeah.
something like that. Okay. Being Human joined Sci-Fi in January 2011. Being Human is a reimagining of the acclaimed BBC original series that follows 3 20-something roommates, a ghost, a vampire, and a werewolf, who walked into a bar, who are struggling to keep their dark secrets from the world while also helping each other navigate the complexities of living double lives.
Now, wait a minute. Are they doing the series all over again?
Yep, it's a reimagining of the BBC series.
Why? Why not just show the BBC series?
I don't know. Well, because BBC America has the rights to that particular version.
I suppose.
So Sci-Fi is doing its own version. So the series will star Sam Witwer, who was on Smallville and Battlestar Galactica, Megan Rath, Sam Huntington, who was in Caveman and Superman Returns, and Marc Pellegrino. He did Lost and he's done the Supernatural. Okay. Muse Entertainment will be producing 13 one-hour episodes for Sci-Fi. So expect that next month in January. No Stargate Worlds MMO. Wah, wah, wah. There won't be a Stargate online role-playing game in the near future, even if the game's developer won a key court ruling. An Arizona judge says Cheyenne Mountain Entertainment legally owns the assets of the Stargate World's massively multiplayer online role-playing game, and that a rival company group formed through some of Cheyenne's former employees didn't have the rights to the software. No sooner did Cheyenne win the rights back to its forever in development game when Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, the studio that owns the Stargate franchise, yanked the Arizona software developer's license, essentially killing Stargate Worlds. So all those Stargate fans who were looking forward to going through the gate, they won't be able to do so. MGM had issued the license in 2006, and while it does take years to develop MMOs, the missed deadlines, the Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection filed by Cheyenne earlier this year, and the increasingly slow development of the game apparently forced MGM to lose confidence, according to Jason Peters of the East Valley Tribune in Arizona. So no Stargate Worlds MMO. And they were really promoting this thing too, which is going to be good. And then finally, we have some sci-fi Christmas specials coming up for this month. December 7th, you can expect Christmas specials for Eureka and Warehouse 13.
Okay.
Futurama is going to be having a Christmas special on Comedy Central. Check the listings for that. And Doctor Who is going to be holding a Christmas special for BBC America.
Very nice.
Sounds good. And that's it for all the slick news on Toob News.
That's a short list.
It's a very short list.
Very
short. Short but important.
Did you catch the Cthulhu episodes of South Park?
I did not. I don't watch South Park.
Cthulhu made an appearance on South Park.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
So check those out on the southpark.com website.
Sounds like a plan.
Cool.
Okay. And now it's time for a segment we like to call Slick Anime Daisuki with James Hinsey. Take it away, James.
All right. Hey, is my hair too slick? I don't know.
No, this is fine.
It's usually kind of greasy looking anyway. It's only because it's black hair, all right?
Got any fries with
I
that?
got some anime news.
All right.
One of the original producers of the Space Battleship Yamato series that we used to know as Star Blazers.
Yep.
Yoshinobu Nishizaki passed away. He was out on the this research ship Yamato out in Ogasawara Islands, and he had fallen off in preparation. They were going to go swimming, and he had fallen off the boat and drowned.
Oh my God.
So he's gone.
Very sad.
How old?
He was 75. Yeah.
Did he like whack his head or something?
I don't know. They didn't know. I don't think anyone saw him fall directly. So I mean, I guess he was in the water for about 10 minutes or so, and then they pulled him out.
That's very sad.
Yeah. You know, if you read up on him, I mean, yes, he did produce Yamato, so he does have some creative credit in the new live action film, and he was also responsible for producing the latest animated Yamato film last year.
Rebirth, right?
Resurrection.
Okay.
Space Battleship Resurrection, or Rebirth if you translate it that way. And he's also responsible for a bunch of other films or anime series over the years. Anchor Bay Entertainment has obtained the American distribution rights for a 3D version of Battle Royale. This was a live-action film made in 2000 in Japan about teenage kids that were placed on an island to battle it out, and whoever survived was the winner. It's kind of like a
typical high school.
Or but it was very violent.
They're killing each other.
Yep, they're killing each other. It was a very violent film.
I shouldn't be laughing because it's not funny, but that just struck me as humorous.
It could have come over back in 2000, but because of Columbine, it wasn't. You know, it was a little sensitive matter of that. But Kinji Fukasaku had directed the original. His son Kenta Fukasaku, who produced this 3D version, produced the sequel to Battle Royale 2, and so he's working on possibly bringing that one over too. So you can look forward to seeing that. there's ways of getting to see that too if you haven't already. But at least it'll now have an official distribution in the U.S. Madhouse and Mamoru Hosoda's latest film, Summer Wars, had an anime screening in Los Angeles back in this December. And it was out for at least 7 days, and that qualified it for the animation nomination for the Oscar Awards. So hopefully that'll be one of the animated films nominated for the Oscar. If they have 16 eligible films for Best Animated Feature, they could have as many as 5 nominees for the Oscars.
Cool.
So
nice.
We might be able to see some anime nominated.
That'd be cool.
And 37 Japanese publishers are collaborating to produce a manga portal site called J Manga Portal Site. That's their name for now. But they're trying to get together, and they're going to have a way for people to download and access manga. We don't have any titles yet, but they're working on putting this site together.
This is the kind of thing where you can download it to your iPad.
Oh yeah, to your iPad, to your iPhone, to any other portable or home computer.
Nice.
And it'll be licensed and legal and everything. So
do you get to read it backwards?
Yeah. So I mean, they're finding that the demand for manga here is so large. Them putting this together is going to be good for them and good for everybody. And more anime and manga.
Very nice.
That's not a bad thing. I found out, I was talking to my daughter's 7th grade homeroom teacher, and he teaches science at Martin Middle, and he is a huge anime and manga fan.
Yeah.
And he has an extensive manga library, so I know the kids are out there getting it. That's really cool.
If they did it right, they could do Shakespeare as manga, and kids would learn like crazy.
And a lot of the libraries now in Rhode Island have anime and manga clubs.
Yes, they do.
So they're meeting and gathering and watching and reading, and a lot of the like graphic novels section in the library, there's manga with it in that section.
Absolutely.
So that's it for Anime Daisuki news this month. I went to the Quidditch World Cup, which was November 13th and 14th in New York City, and the finals was on the 14th. I was there all afternoon checking it out and grabbed some great footage and some interviews too. So here it is. Hi, this is James with Sci-Fi Journal here at the Quidditch World Cup, and I'm here with Jonathan from the New York City Meetup, HP New York City Meetup, and I'm a part of the HPMA, which is the Massachusetts New England Meetup group. So how is Quidditch World Cup going for you?
Oh, this event's been spectacular. The IQA has put on an amazing weekend. The number of people here is incredible. The uniforms are fantastic, and the athleticism has been top notch. It's been great.
Yeah, I've seen some of the matches, and they're getting very physical out there too, while trying to be safe and everything. There's about 3,000 people here, you think?
Well, definitely yesterday when it was the main competition and all 46 teams were competing. Today is the tournament championship, so there's less people here, less teams here, because a lot of them got disqualified. But yesterday, probably close to 3,000.
Wow, 3,000. And the New York City Meetup group has the Badaskalics team, right?
Yes, correct. We fielded what's called a community team because we're not associated with a university or high school. And we found out when the Quidditch World Cup was going to be in New York, we decided that we can't just observe, we have to be involved. This is our city. So we put together a community team. We trained them in IQA rules, and we got the money together, and we entered the tournament.
Great. So how did they do yesterday?
They did fantastic yesterday. Unfortunately, they did not make the championship tiers, but we are personally thrilled with their progress. They've only been a team for 2 months, and they won 2 out of the 3 games they played. The last game they played, they had a huge point lead, and unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to get into the championship levels. But they've been scrimmaging today, and they've won almost every single scrimmage. And I currently believe that our Seeker is completely undefeated. He has gotten the snitch in every single game they've played.
Excellent. And also, are you involved with the New York City Wizard Rock Festival? And tell me about that.
Yes, I am. I am one of the assistant organizers for the New York City Wizard Rock Festival. The New York City Wizard Rock Festival is the largest wizard rock show on the East Coast. The first one was 2 years ago. This one will be on November 21st. It's at the Music Hall of Williamsburg. You can check us out at New York City, NYCWizardRockFestival.com. and we have 15 bands. It's something like 10 hours long. The headliners are Ministry of Magic, and it's actually going to be the first time in New York City.
Yeah, I love the Ministry of Magic. I also love the Whomping Willows, Matt Giacomo. I got 4 of his CDs, but and I got some of Morning Myrtles and Justin Fitzgerald. I'm from Rhode Island, so they're the homeboys there. Yeah,
your home bands.
Yep, and but I look forward to seeing more and learning more about Wizard Rock. I mean, I've only been listening to it for a year now, and I've got the Jingle Spell CD, and I'm hoping to pick up more when I get a chance. All right, looks like they're going to start a match right here, and so we're going to take a little break and show you some of the action, and I'll be back with some more interviews.
Eyes down, everyone. Stitches loose. Speaking of rules, I really have a question. What gets caught?
Trying to confuse us all
Take it down! There you go!
What does HPA have coming up in the future?
Well, we just started our new Deathly Hallows campaign, and it's a 9-month-long campaign that spans in between the release of the first film and the second part of the film. And basically what we're doing is we are setting up to destroy 7 real-world Horcruxes. So we found issues in the world that we want to work for, and we sort of mapped them onto the 7 Horcruxes to fight just like Harry does.
Excellent, excellent. I think the HPA is doing a lot of great things for our community and for everybody around the world.
Oh, it's fantastic, and it's all due to the fans of Harry Potter. There's so much energy and enthusiasm there.
So for the Quidditch World Cup, what kind of involvement did you have here today?
We were just here present, selling our merch, and we also partnered with IQA. We're fiscally sponsoring them right now so that they can accept donations until they reach their own 501c3 status.
Yeah. Great, that's great. Well, that's it for here at the Quidditch World Cup. This is James signing off for Sci-Fi Journal.
Hey, that was pretty slick.
Yeah,
that was pretty slick stuff.
The slickest time. I just can't believe I was able to go.
That was cool.
That's it, man. It's game over, man. It's game over.
Calvin, where the hell did you come from?
I just magically appeared out of thin air.
I think that's pretty cool. So while you're here, why don't you give us some game over news?
Okay, don't really have a whole lot going on this month, as being December. Like you were saying, it's been 15 years, guys, that we've actually
15.
been. I mean, technically 16 if you want to go back, because our first episode was actually done in 95, but. Okay. It was 96 when we really started, so yeah, we're going into our 15th year.
Cool.
Isn't that scary?
That's pretty scary.
Yep.
What's even scary is that we've gone global.
Yes. We're still on in South Africa.
We're still on in South Africa.
Yeah. Funny aside from that, I was you know how my wife does mystery shopping and stuff. Well, I was at the Showcase Cinemas in Seekonk the other day, and we was doing a theater install. And what that basically is, for you guys that don't know, when you go into a theater and you see those really big cardboard cutouts for upcoming movies, we put those together.
Right.
And so we're doing one for the movie Hop, and I had just gotten out of work, and I wasn't expecting to go, but so anyway, we're putting it together, and I guess the 7 o'clock movies got out. And there's this guy that's over there with this family, and he's watching us put together this standee. So he comes over and he's like, you're one of those guys from Sci-Fi Journal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, we love the show. I love the show. We watch it every month.
Yep.
I'm a fan on Facebook, so people are checking us out on Facebook. And he wanted to get a picture. And I was like, okay, sure, that's fine. And he's like, it's really good to meet a local celebrity. I'm kind of a local celebrity too. And I'm like, okay, so who are you?
Right.
And I'm really gonna admit this. So he's like, his name is D. Payne. He was a very, very nice gentleman. His family was awesome too.
Yep.
He happens to be the program director at Hot 106.
All right.
Now, mind you, when I think about our fans and stuff, I wouldn't have thought of anybody, to be completely honest, at Hot 106 as fans of the show, and I was completely wrong. And he's a big fan, and we talked a little bit of back and forth on Twitter and whatnot, and it's just, I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah, cool. So people from Hot 106 like checking out the program.
So you never know what you're going to run into.
Awesome.
Pretty slick, huh?
Yeah, pretty slick.
Pretty slick.
Pretty slick.
Okay. As for movies and stuff, there's not, all the main releases are pretty much out, so all the sales going on in December, you can find stuff really cheap. So what I really want to talk a little bit about is a lot of the movie studios now, there's a lot of films. I mean, a lot of the older studios, Warner Brothers, Paramount, Fox, MGM. Specifically, Warner Brothers, MGM, I believe Paramount they have this new program that they're doing. Now, DVDs, you can go and get a lot of stuff, but as you guys very well know, there's a lot of stuff that's just not out there. A lot of older stuff, vintage stuff, and stuff that wouldn't be economically viable for these studios to make, like, say, 100,000 copies and put them into retail stores, because they're just not going to have a fan base enough for them. But they've come up with a way where you can go online to their websites, and they'll have like a list of like these vintage movies and whatnot, and you could pay for it on their website, and they'll actually make you a copy of that particular movie and send it to you. So something, I mean,
it's like print on demand.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like print on demand. So a lot of stuff that you would normally never see in a retail store now becomes accessible, and I just think that's a really cool thing.
That's really slick.
Yeah, I like it.
I just totally.
I'm slickified.
Oh wow, that's a new word.
So you should definitely check out. I know Warner Brothers has had great success with it. MGM is rolling out one now.
Right.
So if you're interested in that, you should go ahead and check out those websites.
All right. Awesome.
Moving on to video games really quick. Microsoft's Kinect is selling very well.
I know.
They are very, very happy with it, and I freely admit I was surprised.
Now, do you have one? Did you get one?
I do not have one. I don't know if I'm going to get one or not, and it's only because I want to get one, but my living room is small, and I don't know if it's large enough for even the one person. You have to have a lot of room in order to use this properly. For one player, you need to have between 6 and 8 feet. Ideally, you need like 7 feet between the camera and your television.
Right.
And for 2 people, you're talking 9 to 10 feet. So if you have small, cramped living rooms, you definitely want to measure beforehand. But the technology is great. It's been selling very well.
Weren't there also issues too with height? They're like shorter kids who play the games. They were having trouble. Like Kinect was having trouble. Anything
yes, but a lot of it is really people not understanding about the camera positioning. In fact, my friend who works at a video game store, I was just talking to him last night, and he was like, people don't realize where the install disc, because you have an install disc to install onto the thing, and they don't know what the install disc is, and the install disc is the game that comes with it. I mean, it's clear as day. So a lot of people aren't used to like this level of technology, so it's taking a little bit. Once you get it set up, though, it's fine.
It's got voice commands also.
Yep.
That's going to be pretty cool. I'm just waiting for all the people who like to modify these things to take one of these and set it up in their house and use voice commands to control the toaster and all this other stuff. It's going to be kind of awesome once they start making applications for it.
Let's see, video gaming with other video games.
Kinect, the microwave version.
Yeah, no kidding. Call of Duty Black Ops came out this past week.
And nobody got any work done.
Lines at stores everywhere around the country, around the world, really. $360 million worth of games sold in one day.
And they say video games aren't important.
One day.
Sounds pretty slick to me.
So that's yeah. Activision so far, I mean, is very, very happy. I played it a little bit of it. I haven't touched a single player yet, but the single player is supposed to be pretty good. Multiplayer, it's Call of Duty, so it's hit or miss. If you like it, you'll like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
Hey.
It's about as slick as you can get.
Come see, come saw. All right.
So, and some news that really isn't slick. Rock Band 3 has gotten rave reviews. I wanted to have a comprehensive review of the game this month, but I wasn't able to get that done, so we'll look for that in the future. But we do have some news which could be bad, but could be good, depending on what happens. Viacom, that's the entity that owns Paramount, MTV, and all that stuff. Well, they also own Harmonix, and they have made it known this week that they're going to be selling it. In fact, it looks like they're going to be getting out of the video game business altogether.
Oh, right.
They've already classified Harmonix as a discontinued operation. They've taken a loss on their future earnings to reflect it. So a lot of the Rock Band fans were wondering, and Dance Central, which is one of the best games out for Kinect right now, what's going to happen to the publisher. And they've already posted on their website that everything's going to continue as is. The downloadable content will continue. In fact, the Bee Gees are coming out this week.
Oh, cool.
So if you like disco, there you go.
There you go.
But everything's going to be fine, and there's already been a number of publishers that have talked about stepping up and buying the company, because Rock Band is still a viable franchise, and if Dance Central continues to sell well as it has so far, I mean, they'll be fine. In all likelihood, what will probably just happen is because EA is already into a partnership with them, that would make them the most viable choice and logical choice to pick up the company. But more on that as we get along to it. Last but not least, it being December, the people going shopping, you're going to find really good deals on systems and whatnot. You really should check online. Look for searches on whatever it is you're looking for, because if it's not on sale one week, it's probably on sale the next, and you can get some really good deals. And don't forget the after Christmas stuff. A lot of the biggest sales of the year come on the day after Christmas.
Right.
So that's pretty slick.
It is.
My 7th grade homeroom teacher, my nickname in middle school, I kid you not, was Slick Watts and a Medicine Show. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. I guess there was a basketball player in the 70s named Slick Watts. And I'm like, well, what's the Medicine Show for? And he's just like, well, because it sounds kind of cool.
Right.
And for junior high, it actually stuck. Crazy, huh?
Cool.
Sounds like your junior high school teacher was into Tolkien.
That's all I got.
That's all you got. All right, cool. Now, let's move on to a little segment we call Toys, Props, and Other
Stuff.
Ooh, that was a slick one.
I saved it just for this episode.
Where our wonderfully talented camera people point to things in the world of sci-fi and we talks about them. Okay,
Wow.
Here we have 3 Hallmark ornaments for
Count
your
'em,
Christmas
3.
tree. Let's see, starting from left to right, we've got that's a Star Wars figure.
It's one of the Emperor's soldiers or security guards.
Yep,
Imperial
the
Guards.
Yep.
Imperial Guard.
And then in the center is a 1991 Star Trek Enterprise ornament. That one's very rare. If you can, that's one of the first Star Trek Hallmark ornaments that was released. If you can find one, buy it, because it's worth a lot of money.
We have armed guards in the studio for
That's
that.
true.
If you can
That's
find it
cheap.
cheap, because the average price for that now is around $400 to $500.
Yep, amazing. And next to that is a figure
Joker.
of the
The
Joker
Joker.
from DC
The Joker?
Comics.
The Joker.
The Joker.
Just in case we get picked up in Sweden.
All right, yeah, there's the Joker. Go ahead, James.
All right. H. Bean Piper was a science fiction author from the 60s, 70s. He created the stories of Fuzzy and his family. These little, about yay high little creatures, very furry with large green eyes.
Sounds slick.
Yep.
Came out before Gremlins.
Before Gremlins, yeah. Michael Whalen did the covers for these. These were awesome.
Awesome covers.
He'd be the one. But they're going to come out with some new Fuzzy novels written by Jack Scalzi. So he's taken notes and things from the Piper family, and he's going to rewrite a whole new Fuzzy novel. And here, H.B. Piper's original Little Fuzzy, Fuzzy Sapiens, and then his third book, which they found after he had passed away, which they called Fuzzies and Other People. There's 2 other standalone novels written by a couple other people, Fuzzy Bones and Golden Dream, Fuzzy Odyssey. And then there's some other H.B. Piper stories. His future world universe was populated with planets named after the Nordic mythologies. So like Ula Uprising and the Space Viking and stuff like that.
Cool.
Great stories, great writing. Something to check out if you can find them in your library or used bookstores.
Very nice. Video games. Go ahead, Calvin.
All right, I freely admit I have a bias towards the Xbox 360. PlayStation 3 is a great system. I own it. I play some games for it. But the majority of the stuff is on the 360. And all of these games are very, very good. From one end, Fable 3, awesome addition to the sequel. Are you going to start a revolution? Are you going to become a dictator? Are you going to become the hero that everyone needs you to be? Rock Band 3 next to that. They did release, remember we talked about a couple of months ago, one of the songs I thought would be awesome for the game would be Subdivisions by Rush.
Right.
They made it happen,
Good.
and it's selling very well. Fallout New Vegas, awesome, awesome game. You know, you set out in Vegas, which wasn't blown up, kind of fun to believe, but, and then next to that, Call of Duty Black Ops. All 3, with the exception of Fable 3, are on both the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, and Fable is an exclusive.
Sounds good. All right, and next to that, well, never mind, next to that, there's a Starfleet communique.
Yep, Starfleet Communique. It's the official newsletter for the Starfleet International fan club. You know, each of the chapters are named after ships, different class ships. Like we're part of the USS Darwin, Marc and I, and which is out of Rhode Island and southeastern Mass.
Okay, we have some Spider-Man holiday special. Look at that, Spidey with a Christmas suit or a Santa suit. Since it's the holidays, we thought we'd throw that in. There we go. One is Dark Life by Cat Falls. That's probably a pseudonym, but that's a scholastic book. It's made for teenagers. It takes place in the future. Most of the Earth has suffered earthquakes, and all but 20% of the Earth is underwater. So people have to live on these huge people live at the topside, live in these huge apartment complexes, and people underwater become farmers, and they farm manganese nodules, and they learn to live underwater. And it's all about this one particular guy. His name is Ty. He's a 13-year-old boy, and he has to try to fight these group of outlaws called the Sea Blight Gang. And it's all about their adventures, about how they have to fight the gang and prevent their territories from being raided. And interesting book. The technology is pretty cool. So got it at the library, so you can check it out over there.
And next to that is The Hunger Games. This is the first novel of 3 that Suzanne Collins has written about Katniss. This young girl in the near future, the U.S. is now another country now called Pan Am, for like Pan America. It's run almost by like a dictatorial government, and each of the 12 regions of Pan Am every year have a reaping, or sort of like the lottery thing, where they take a child from each of these different regions and pit them into some type of like gladiatorial games, or it's a battle to the death. And because of Katniss's skills that she's honed over the years, hunting for food and stuff, she's fighting for her life. She makes alliances with some of the other players in the game. There's a boy named Peta that she gets involved with.
He's got a lot of bread.
Yeah,
he's and then there's
yeah, and the people, they watch these games on their TVs and stuff. And I guess some of the people start rooting for her. And this is also another Scholastic novel. Scholastic, I think, is kind of matured in a way into a certain level where these novels are written not necessarily for teenagers, but they're marketing them toward the teens and the young and the 20-somethings too.
Right.
There's a lot of young people who read these books and love them. And this one, the next one, and Mockingbird is, I think, the third one. have been big sellers for Scholastic.
You get that one in the bookstore too. Okay, cool. All right, as always, if you would like to get in touch with us, we have a website. It's risfc.org. Our email is info@risfc.org. We also have another email, Sci-Fi Journal @gmail.com.
At risfc.org.
At risfc.org, thank you.
And you can find us on Facebook.
You can find us on Facebook, and we have YouTube pages. We can do that as well. Our snail mail is Rhode Island Science Fiction Club, Post Office Box 8515, Warwick, Rhode Island 02888. If you want to send us Christmas cookies or some other things, that'd be cool. And I think that's going to be it for this very last edition of Sci-Fi Journal for December 2010. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate.
And watch the roads, because this time of year they can be
really
awful slick.
That's true.
It's the year we made contact.
The year we made contact.
It's over.
That's right. Okay, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next year in January.